morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, I'm Katelynn. I thought Valentine's Day was the perfect opportunity to do a girl chat video. I actually did a video similar to this one a couple of weeks ago. It was like the 10 changes that I made in my life, and I really liked connecting with you guys on that video because I feel like I'm constantly talking about things at large on my podcast, but I feel like I don't really go in depth as much on my YouTube channel, and the content that I post on here is definitely geared toward like my day-to-day life, my recipes, outfits, all of that. And it was just really fun to sit down and actually open up and chat with you guys. So I definitely want to do that more in 2024. So if you guys have any recommendations for me to talk about things in different girl chat episodes, then definitely let me know. But today I thought I would do the complete opposite of the last video. Instead of talking about the 10 changes that I made to my life and additions, I'm actually going to talk about the things I stopped doing to reach my goals. And this doesn't just have to be geared toward fitness and wellness. It's actually pretty much everything, like just becoming an adult, being more mature, being on a self-love journey, literally just being more productive, all of those sort of things. I actually wrote a list on my phone, and I feel like these are a lot of things that I actually haven't talked about before and recent realizations that I've made. So let's get into the first one, which is not testing and building on my discipline. I feel like discipline is one of those words that you hear and you're like, that sounds negative, that sounds toxic, I don't want to add that into my life. But I feel like being able to be disciplined actually carries into every single part of your life. Waking up early, making your bed, putting in the effort to meal prep, putting in the effort to go to the gym, actually training mind to muscle, being able to follow through with plans, literally every single section of your life. I genuinely feel like when I have a goal and I actually stick to it and I follow through with it, I'm building on my discipline. And then when something comes into my life that's actually super challenging that I'm working on, I feel like because I've worked on the smaller things, I'm actually a lot more able to go through with the things that I really care about. And I feel like I've noticed this a lot with my career because I feel like being your own boss is something that I've definitely had to learn because I've never been a school person. I've never been somebody that responds well to having timelines and due dates and things like that and staying organized. Honestly, I'm like totally a scatterbrain. I can be really lazy in certain aspects, especially like work-wise, busy work and that sort of thing. But I'm also a perfectionist, so I'm not somebody to just like throw off all of my work onto someone else if it has my name on it. So I've definitely found in my career, it's been really hard for me. So that's something that would be a really big goal for me, making sure I get all of my content in on time, responding to emails timely, doing my taxes, like, well, obviously I'm gonna do my taxes, I'm not gonna not do my taxes, but like staying really organized throughout the entire year with my taxes, sitting down with my CPA and like really deep diving into it, putting energy towards it. Those are things that are actually really hard for me. Whereas on the flip side of it, having a smaller goal for me would be having a workout routine and trying to go 5 days a week because I know that it makes me feel good mentally and physically. That is something that's a little bit smaller for me. One, because I've been doing it for so long, so now it's just routine. And two, it's literally one of my biggest passions. I love exercise. I love going and seeing my friends at the gym, all of that sort of thing. So it actually isn't that difficult for me, that specific thing. And it's totally fine if that is one of your bigger ones. We're all completely different. There's somebody that's probably watching this that's like, how can you not get your work in on time? And I'm sitting here like, this is the hardest part of my life. So we're all different, obviously, but the point of it is working on those smaller things are really gonna help with your discipline on those bigger things. And also with your self-confidence too, being able to say, I'm gonna do this, and then you follow through with it. Not only is that actually helping you with your goals, but it actually is helping you internally with your confidence, which is really important, obviously, as we know, through all other aspects of your life and self-love. We'll kind of piggyback off of that one, which is not pre-planning and pre-preparing. I definitely am like a go with the flow type of person in terms of like, I try and live in the moment. For example, if I meal prep something, but it comes to that day and I literally don't feel like eating it, I will not eat it. I notice that I don't like to have preset plans. I like to live my life super intuitively. But with that being said, I've definitely taken that to the extreme of literally never preparing anything. There's points in my life that I definitely know that I like to get ahead of it. And this can be in meal prepping. It can be setting my workout clothes at night out before my workout if I have like a 7 a.m. spin. It could be cleaning out my car when I know that I'm going to drive my friends somewhere the next day so I don't feel like shit when they get in my car and it's disgusting. Planning out my workouts for the week so that I know that I'm hitting equal amount of muscle groups, I'm not spinning too many times. My work-wise, like having an entire calendar for the month, making sure I'm not overbooking myself, underbooking myself, that sort of thing. This is kind of why I got into the Sunday reset thing, and I feel like it's kind of become this huge trend, which it's obviously a really positive trend. I feel like there's nothing bad that can come from cleaning your house and getting it all set, spending time with yourself, doing all the self-care things on a Sunday. But I think like maybe it became a trend because it's super cute and it's a really interesting video to film, which I definitely am guilty of. Like I film them all the time, but I genuinely feel like Sunday resets are actually something that helps me prepare for my life. Like I would 1000% be doing them if I wasn't filming, and there's many days where I do a reset and I don't film. I feel like having a specific day of the week that sets you up for the rest of the week is really, really helpful. And I have a lot of friends that work 9-to-5 jobs, and they have said that it literally changes their life, and they will have a completely different week if they don't meal prep, if they don't do their laundry, if they don't plan out their week, when they're gonna go see their friends, because obviously it's really important to also have a social life on top of all the other things that we're doing, or even just like cleaning, because obviously your space can get really dirty throughout the week. And there's just nothing worse than waking up and your house is just disgusting, especially on like a Monday morning when you want to have this fresh start and you just didn't do that for yourself. So definitely pre-planning and preparing has helped me, and not slacking off with it. This is going to be a quick one, but I feel like a lot of people overlook the fact that the first step of any type of journey, whether it's self-love, fitness, starting a career, I really do think that the first step should be learning, and I feel like that's always everybody's last step. Nobody wants to like sit there and go do research about something before just jumping in head first, because we get super excited about things. We're like, oh, we can cut corners, like I saw them do it, so I'll just do it really quickly. But sometimes we don't see the amount of effort and time that goes behind the scenes of someone else's life. For example, me, if you see me doing a workout, like maybe you just assume scrolling past it like, oh, she probably just like started working out this year or something like that. But I've taken a lot of time to make sure that I'm doing the form correctly, I structure my workouts properly, mind to muscle, I'm flexible, all of those things. Actually taking time to learn about fitness, nutrition, the career that you're starting, the job that you want, anything like that, whatever new project you're starting, the reason you're watching this video, I think that learning is definitely the most important thing. And then I think the second most important thing is listening. Listening to other people and also listening to yourself. You will learn so much if you listen to your own body, no matter what it is for, whether it's how you respond to the friends that you're hanging out with, how you respond to the new habit you added into your life, how you feel at your workout, anything like that. And then also looking around you and talking with people and their experiences. My dad always says that learning from other people is the biggest tool that we have. Like other people have experienced things and will give you advice, just like I'm doing right now in this YouTube video, and it is really helpful to listen to that. But I always say that you know yourself more than anyone else is going to know you, so you definitely want to take that with a grain of salt, but being open to learning new things and just having a deeper, different perspective, I think is really important. Oh, this is a really good one, and it's not having planned days to relax. I am one of those people where I'm just constantly stressed. Like I have anxiety, and I feel like because of that I'm also an overthinker and I'm a perfectionist. Like I'm just constantly thinking in my head. I'm also a chronic worrier. I worry about everybody in my life that I love. Like it's honestly just like crazy. Like I'm just constantly stressed, and I do a lot of things in my personal life that help me with that. Like I try to do yoga at least like once a week, whether it's yoga or stretching of some sort or doing meditations. Going to the beach really helps us. Having nights where I just turn off, I watch my favorite show. I also know when to turn things off in general. Like I don't want to be laying on the couch and like thinking about my fitness journey and like researching all these YouTube videos when it gets to a point where it's like you're past the point of having your work mind on. I feel like it's really easy to get super passionate about things, and if you're a night owl like me, using the nighttime because you have nothing else to do, like everybody's asleep or you just don't have anything scheduled, obviously because it's nighttime, it's like, oh, this is like the free hour. I can go on YouTube, I can plan XYZ, start a whole new company. Like literally some of my best ideas happen at night, which is good, but at the same time I have to have that discipline like we talked about in the first one to be able to put it away and know like there needs to be an off switch somewhere with everything. Literally everything. Talking, communicating, like being on the phone. everything. I just feel like there should be time, especially at nighttime, where it's for yourself, your nighttime routine, whatever it is to help you go to bed. I think it really helps overall with stress, and then just having days in general that are dedicated to do everything in your life that you love that de-stresses you. I feel like you will see a really big difference. And then to go off of this one, not stressing every little thing, especially when it comes to fitness results and all of that. I know that that's probably why a lot of people clicked on this video. I am a CPT, and I can tell you that these little things that we hear one TikTok about that's like, oh, don't drink oat milk because XYZ. Or we'll see a random TikTok that's like, oh, don't go lift heavy in the morning if you're a woman on your period. That's going to cause stress and fear in people. And I feel like we need to just understand that every single person is going to be different, and you cannot find every answer online because there's always going to be different takes. There's always going to be somebody that says that this is what they follow to a T, and maybe it's something that you don't agree with, or vice versa. Maybe there's something that you love adding in your life, you know it's healthy for you, but they're like, oh, I would never do that. At the end of the day, there's just going to be so many hot takes, especially online, and I just really encourage you guys not to stress the small stuff. And something that actually really helps me is like, even if, for example, let's take red dye 40. Even if that's not the best thing in the world, like Hunter and I just had talkies the other night, or like these little nerd ropes. Like I can have nerd ropes that have red dye 40 in it, and then the next day I can also meal prep a salad for the week because I want to feel good. Like you don't have to choose one life or another life. It doesn't have to be 0 to 100. Or one of my favorite dietitians on YouTube talks about how to just drink their coffee how you like it. Like it's not that big of a deal. And sometimes you'll watch a YouTuber that is talking about their fitness journey, and they're like, oh, this one change of my coffee really helped me because Starbucks has so much sugar and blah, 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 blah. But if Starbucks makes you happy, like that little coffee is not going to make the biggest difference in your life. Or say you have to take a week off because you're going on vacation. That is not going to be the biggest deal, I promise you. And even in the grand scheme of things, if for one reason something in your life that you're doing that genuinely makes you happy or is just accessible to you in that moment without stressing, if it sets you slightly back in whatever goal you're trying to achieve, that's okay. We don't have to constantly just be reaching every single goal in this perfect timeline. You need to take the pressure off yourself. I personally feel like we should take the pressure off of ourselves to always be taking a step forward, because I just don't think that's realistic in any way. I don't think that's a happy way to live your life, because then you're constantly stressed about every little thing. And then ultimately when you relieve some of that stress, you will notice a way more positive experience rather than just trying to stick to all these little rules. It's just like too overwhelming. So that's something that I specifically struggled with, was having too many rules, too many things going on in my head that I was just constantly stressed about them. This next one is not putting the work in for self-love. We all try to focus on our goals, what we want to do, who we want to be, what we want to look like, what car we want to drive, what house we want, but we're not focused on who we are right now, when this is who we're living with every single day. So if we're constantly saying, oh, I hate this about myself, I can't wait till I'm getting to this point, how does that make this person feel? It makes you feel like shit. So something that I realized a couple of years ago was to actually put love and effort towards this person right here and become okay with everything that's going on right now, and understand that there's a reason for everything. Understand that no matter what your body looks like, what strength you have, you are here, you are putting in effort, and there's a reason why we're at this point. So I just feel like making sure that you are putting an effort towards self-love and your current self. It's okay to have goals, it's okay to look in the future, and actually that's going to be one of the next ones, but just belittling this person is never a good idea. So moving on to the next one that I just hinted at is sometimes we forget to visualize ourselves, emphasis on ourselves, as the person that we want to be. Sometimes when we have a goal you want to lift at the gym, some type of physical fitness goal, or some type of job you want, sometimes we picture somebody else. We watch someone on YouTube and we're like, oh my god, that's my goal, to have their lifestyle, and we're so focused on them, what they're doing, how they got there, that we forget that it's all about us, that this journey that we're trying to achieve is about us. So sometimes we forget to envision ourselves at that point, and once you can do that, then this person is this next person that you want to become. So I feel like instead of constantly comparing, you're just really striving to be that better version of yourself, but you know it is in you and you know that it's possible. And with things being possible, you want to also make sure that you're setting realistic goals. I can't tell you how many times at the beginning of my fitness journey, I would set goals that were outrageous. Like, I would watch a video of somebody and I'd be like, oh, they do this and this, like that's my goal. When I don't really understand like that can't happen for me, or maybe the timeline that I'm setting isn't what's going to work for me and it's not realistic. So definitely setting realistic goals is literally the only way to set goals. I did want to really quickly take a break from the video and talk about one of my absolute favorite sponsors in the entire world, and that is Squarespace. I've been using Squarespace for a really long time. I'm actually working on an addition to my Squarespace behind the scenes that you guys will see hopefully soon. It's the very beginning process, so I hate to give a little teaser, but if you guys have already followed me for a little bit, then you know that I came out with my personal training guide. I use Squarespace for that. I came out with merch, use Squarespace for that. And Squarespace is just a great way to utilize your online presence. It's an online platform that helps you build a domain, website, and link all of your social channels. Not only can you see all the back-end analytics, but you can also add a shop page, you can add a newsletter, you can actually link everything on there, whether it's your Instagram, TikTok, PDF that somebody can buy, a course, a subscription, anything like that, to look exactly the way that you want it and actually represent you and your business, which is why I love working with Squarespace and use it for myself. So if you guys do want to try it out and get a 30-day free trial, you guys can use my code Katelynn Nolan. You use it for the 30 days and you decide to purchase a domain or website, use my code and we'll give you an additional 10% off. So just want to say thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. That's everything that I wrote on my list. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and there's no better day to focus on self-love more than on Valentine's Day. So that's why I wanted to share all of these tips in today's video. And again, let me know if there's any other topics you guys want me to talk about in these little sit down girl chat videos, because I really love just sitting here talking to the camera. And yeah, I also love like reading the comments and hearing your guys' experience with some of these things, or if there's anything specifically that I didn't touch on that you feel like really helped you in your journey, then definitely let me know down below and we can have a little Valentine's conversation. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in a couple days.